How y'all doing today?
Location. Good morning and welcome to the Bullitt County Fiscal Court on May the 5th. It's 9:30 a.m. And Mr. Griffey, if you would lead us in an invocation and the pledge, please, sir.
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for the opportunity to come together. Lord, be with every member here that we do your will and the will of the county, the state, and our country. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Keith. Thank you. At this time, Sam, if you call the roll to bring the court to order, please.
Yes, sir. Vera Sanders. Present. Sean Loxton.
Here.
Karen Johnson.
Here.
Brian Bleemel.
Yes.
Judge Summers.
Yes.
All present.
Thank you. At this time, we need the approval of the minutes from April 21st, 2026, Bullitt County Fiscal Court.
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes from April 21st, 2026 as presented.
Second.
I have a motion by 3rd District Magistrate Johnson, a second by 4th District Magistrate Bleemel to approve the Bullitt County Fiscal Court minutes of April 21st, 2026 as presented. Sam, call the roll, please.
Loxton.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Bleemel.
Yes.
Judge Summers.
Yes.
Sanders.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Treasurer's transfer report, Donna.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the presentation and approvals of all bills.
Treasurer's
I'll second that motion to approve the treasurer's transfer report.
Thank you.
There you go. I have a motion by First District Magistrate Sanders, a second by 2nd District Magistrate Logson to approve the treasurer's transfer report as presented. Sam, call the roll, please.
Johnson.
Yes.
Bleemel.
Yes.
Judge Summers.
Yes.
Sanders.
Yes.
Longston.
Yes.
Motion carried.
There you go. Presentation and approval of all bills.
Now I'll make a motion
I'll second that motion.
for the presentation.
Okay. I have a motion by First District Magistrate Sanders, a second by Second District Magistrate Logston to approve the bills as presented. Sam, call the roll.
Leamle.
Yes.
Judge Summers.
Yes,
Sanders.
Yes.
Longston.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Motion carried.
thank you. We do have one guest speaker, Kaylee Norris.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning,
I'm
morning.
filling in for our CEO, Anita Stump, again. I just want to let you all know of a few events we have coming up. Tomorrow in Lebanon Junction, we have the unveiling of Chester Porter Road at 2 p.m. And then this Thursday at 6:30 p.m. at Bernheim, there's the Bernheim Nocturnal Networking event. And then next Thursday, the 14th, we will have our networking luncheon, and we will have speaker Victoria Wood, which she's the senior project manager with Kentucky Cabinet for Economic Development. So we hope you all can join us. I did bring our events at a glance. We have a ton of ribbon cuttings coming up, so if you're interested, just come find me and get a glance.
Okay.
Oh, yes, I'll pass these around now, sorry.
Anita texted me this morning and said that you all found $200.
We did,
I'm
thank
really
you
excited.
for that.
Free money?
Yes, free money waiting for you.
Well, it was just lost. I guess it wasn't free. It's lost, but now it's found.
Okay. Thank you, Kaylee. Presentations, John Waters, FEMA presentation. Morning.
I wanted to come and give a brief update on a FEMA reimbursement from February of 2025. They've labeled it as DR 4860. We received some money back from FEMA already. We're expecting some more though. For the first project, it's going to be Category A. Category A is debris removal. We received back about $59,588.65. That goes directly to the road department. That is for cleaning debris off the side of the roadway, any natural or vegetative debris. They cleaned up about 400 cubic yards of the vegetative debris off the side of the roadways, kind of keep them clear. The next one is Category B, that's emergency protective measures, and that's some checks here for the fire departments. So for EMA, we were reimbursed $2,091. EMS was reimbursed for the insurance claim on the ambulance that was damaged during the flood. And then we have, Chiefs, if you want to come up here. The Zone Fire Department received back $4,797.90. Several received back $8,443. And Southeast, $907. Nichols received back $843. They weren't able to be here today, I believe, but I'll take their check to them today. Okay, thank you, ma'am. I appreciate it. The last project that we submitted for February was Category C. That's roads and bridges. The road department worked very hard on some of the roads and bridges that were damaged or destroyed. It's also culverts. They also replaced private driveways. They had the releases from the homeowners whenever they were damaged from the storm to help out the homeowners. They might not be able to leave their residence, or it was very hard to do so. So they went out there and replaced those. The photos up there are from, I believe, Nichols Hill and Pendleton Hill in Bear Camp Road. So we received back $138,093.74. Since FEMA shut down twice, we're still waiting to receive $207,000 back. So as soon as they reopen, they get approved, we'll receive that money back directly to the road department. And then eventually we'll receive back the funding from last April for the flooding event.
Okay. Any questions for John?
So what's the total we received so far? Do you have all of them added, or?
I don't have it with me, but I have it on paper. I can text that to you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, John.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
And thank all the departments who worked with us and was part of such great partners in taking care of our county during the disasters that we've had. The April 6th will be the, what I'm gonna say, with 14 different agencies working together, it's hard to explain how well orchestrated it was. I want to thank Zonton, Shepherdsville, Southeast, Nichols, and a plethora of agencies from Jefferson County too for rescuing over 100 different people in the southern end of our county, North Hardin, and southwestern Nelson County. Thank all of y'all for what you do. Okay, Charlie Spalding.
Morning.
Morning, Charlie.
Apologize, I didn't bring checks, but did want to let you know that at the recent Kentucky chapter of the American Planning Association conference, we received a plaque commemorating our accomplishments in updating the recent comprehensive plan. So I just wanted to let you guys know that our work to update everything is being noticed.
Mm-hmm. Good.
That's it.
Thank you, Charlie.
Well, and Judge, if I could, Charlie worked so hard on
Right.
working that plan. We did have the folks who we contracted with to help, but Charlie worked so hard on that.
Mhm.
That deserves a lot of recognition for that.
We understand that.
And he's
Thank
working
you,
hard on
Charlie.
The work is still going on.
And he's currently working hard on the regulations too that we're at.
There you go. Anything else, Charlie?
My zoning cases, if we're going to do those next.
Do we really have to go through them? But no, it's okay. So I'm sure Tom Barr is going to write a great article about this, put it in the Pioneer News, and because it is an outstanding achievement. We haven't had this luxury before in the 10 years that I've seen with this county. Anyway, first reading, public hearing is zoning ordinance 2026-17, Barry and Karen Crenshaw.
Planning docket 2026 Z17, Barry and Karen Crenshaw, seeking to rezone from Ag to R1, located at 8408 Thixton Lane, parcel 061-000-00-031, located in the unincorporated area of the county, 3.7 acres more or less, and the purpose is to consolidate with their adjoining R1 property. Comprehensive plan calls for low-density residential. Bullitt County Planning Commission, pursuant to provisions of KRS 100.211, held a public hearing on the application on April 9th, 2026. Based upon the testimony of the applicants and the proponents, the Bullitt County Planning Commission finds the map amendment is in agreement with the community's comprehensive plan. Because of the testimony received at the public hearing, the Bullitt County Planning Commission recommends this requested zoning change be approved and sends a favorable recommendation to Bullitt County Fiscal Court.
Tammy?
Commonwealth of Kentucky, County of Bullitt, zoning ordinance number 26-09. An ordinance relating to the changing of zoning of certain property from agricultural to R1 residential. The property in question is 3.7 acres more or less, located at 8408 Thixton Lane, parcel number 061-000-00-031 in an unincorporated area of the county. Whereas the Fiscal Court of Bullitt County has considered the evidence of the public hearing held by the Joint Planning Commission and the recommendations of the Commission, the information provided in the staff report of the Office of Bullitt County Planning and Zoning, and the testimony and evidence presented at the public hearing held by the Fiscal Court, and whereas the Fiscal Court concurs in and adopts the reasons of the Joint Planning Commission for said zoning change, and approves and accepts the recommendations of the Planning Commission in this matter as set out in said minutes, and determines that the proposed zoning change is acceptable and should be approved. Now therefore be it ordained by the Fiscal Court of County of Bullitt, Commonwealth of Kentucky, Section 1, that the above property located in the unincorporated area of Bullitt County, and more particularly described in the minutes and records of the Planning Commission, in docket number 2026Z-17, is hereby changed from agricultural to R1 residential. Section 2, this ordinance shall take effect upon passage and publication as required by law. Section 3, should any section, provision, or part of this ordinance be declared unconstitutional or invalid for any reason by a court of competent jurisdiction, and the remainder of this ordinance shall not be effective and shall remain in full force and effect. Section 4, all ordinances and resolutions to the extent they are inconsistent herewith are hereby repealed. given first reading and public hearing at a regular meeting of the Bullitt County Fiscal Court on the 5th day of May 2026, to be given second reading at a regular meeting of the Bullitt County Fiscal Court on the 19th day of May 2026.
Thank you, Tammy. Anybody here to speak for zoning ordinance 26-17? Hearing or seeing none, anyone's here to speak against zoning ordinance 26-17? Thank you. First reading public hearing for zoning ordinance 26-18, Samuel Duke.
Planning docket 2026 ZC18. Owner applicant is Samuel Duke, seeking to rezone from Ag to R4, located at 2550 Horsefly Hollow Road. Parcel 039-00-00-063, unincorporated area of the county. The acreage to be rezoned is 2.901 acres more or less. Purpose for single-family residential. Comprehensive plan calls for agricultural rural residential. Bullitt County Planning Commission held a meeting on April 9, 2026. Based upon the testimony of the applicants and their proponents, the Bullitt County Planning Commission finds the map amendment is in agreement with the community's comprehensive plan. The following restriction was added. There only be one single-family dwelling allowed on site. Because of the testimony received, the Bullitt County Planning Commission recommends the requested zoning change be approved and sends a favorable recommendation to Bullitt County Fiscal Court.
Thank you, Charlie. Tammy?
Commonwealth of Kentucky, County of Bullitt, zoning ordinance number 26-10. An ordinance relating to the changing of zoning of certain properties from agricultural to R4 residential. The property in question is 2.901 acres more or less, located at 2550 Horsefly Hollow Road, parcel number 039-000-00-063, in an unincorporated area of the county. Whereas the Fiscal Court of Bullitt County has considered the evidence of the public hearing held by the Joint Planning Commission and the recommendations of the Commission, the information provided in the staff report of the Office of Bullitt County Planning and Zoning, and the testimony and evidence presented at the public hearing held by the Fiscal Court, and whereas the Fiscal Court concurs in and adopts the reasons of the Joint Planning Commission for said zoning change, and approves and accepts the recommendations of the Planning Commission in this matter as set out in said minutes, and determines that the proposed zoning change is acceptable and should be approved. Now therefore be it ordained by the Fiscal Court of County of Bullitt, Commonwealth of Kentucky, Section 1, that the above property located in the unincorporated area of Bullitt County, and more particularly described in the minutes and records of the Planning Commission, in docket number 2026Z-18, is hereby changed from agricultural to R4 residential. Section 2, this ordinance shall take effect upon passage and publication as required by law. Section 3, should any section, provision, or part of this ordinance be declared unconstitutional or invalid for any reason by a court of competent jurisdiction, then the remainder of this ordinance shall not be affected and shall remain in full force and effect. Section 4, all ordinances and resolutions to the extent they are inconsistent herewith are hereby repealed. Given first reading and public hearing at a regular meeting of the Bullitt County Fiscal Court on the 5th day of May 2026, to be given second reading at a regular meeting of the Bullitt County Fiscal Court on the 19th day of May 2026.
Thank you, Tammy. Anyone here to speak for zoning ordinance 26-18, Samuel Duke? Hearing or seeing none, anyone here to speak against zoning ordinance 26-18, Samuel Duke? Charlie, first reading and public hearing for zoning ordinance 2026-19, Deborah Sissel.
Planning docket 2026Z20, Deborah Sissel, seeking to rezone from Ag and B1 to R3, located at 384 and 516 Raymond Road, parcel 027-SE0-08-018. The unincorporated portion is 5.361 acres. The purpose is for a single-family dwelling, and the comprehensive plan calls for medium-density residential. The Bullitt County Planning Commission, pursuant to provisions of KRS 100.211, held a public hearing on the application on April 9, 2026. Based upon the testimony of the applicants and their proponents, the Planning Commission finds the map amendment is in agreement with the community's comprehensive plan. The following restriction was added: the construction be limited to one single-family dwelling on the property. Because of the testimony received at the hearing, the Bullitt County Planning Commission recommends a requested zoning change be approved and sends a favorable recommendation to the City of Shepherdsville and Bullitt Fiscal Court. And a portion of this property is in City of Shepherdsville,
Right.
so they're getting the other portion.
In the county.
Yep.
All right. Tammy?
Commonwealth of Kentucky, County of Bullitt, zoning ordinance number 26-11. Ordinance relating to the changing of zoning of certain property from agricultural and B1 highway business to R3 residential. The property in question is 5.361 acres more or less, located at 384 and 516 Raymond Road, parcel number 027-SE0-08-018. in an unincorporated area of the county. Whereas the Fiscal Court of Bullitt County has considered the evidence of the public hearing held by the Joint Planning Commission and the recommendations of the commission, the information provided in the staff report of the Office of Bullitt County Planning and Zoning, and the testimony and evidence presented at the public hearing held by the Fiscal Court, and whereas the Fiscal Court concurs in and adopts the reasons of the Joint Planning Commission for said zoning change and approves and accepts the recommendations of the Planning Commission in this matter as set out in said minutes, and determines that the proposed zoning change is acceptable and should be approved. Now therefore be it ordained by the Fiscal Court of County of Bullitt, Commonwealth of Kentucky, Section 1, that the above property located in the unincorporated area of Bullitt County, and more particularly described in the minutes and records of the Planning Commission in docket number 2026Z-20, is hereby changed from agricultural and B1 highway business to R3 residential. Section 2, this ordinance shall take effect upon passage and publication as required by law. Section 3, should any section, provision, or part of this ordinance be declared unconstitutional or invalid for any reason by a court of competent jurisdiction, then the remainder of this ordinance shall not be affected and shall remain in full force and effect. Section 4, all ordinances and resolutions to the extent they are inconsistent herewith are hereby repealed. Given first reading and public hearing at a regular meeting of the Bullitt County Fiscal Court on the 5th day of May 2026, to be given second reading at a regular meeting of the Bullitt County Fiscal Court on the 19th day of May 2026. Thank
Thank you, Tammy. Anyone here to speak for zoning ordinance 26-19? Deborah Sissel.
Judge, I'd just like to make a note, the owners of this property is present today, Mr. and Mr. Cecil. This is in my district, and I just want to take note of that.
Okay. Thank you, Noel. Anyone here to speak against zoning ordinance 26-19? Deborah Sissel. Hearing and seeing none, actions requested on resolution 26-04, adoption and approval of the execution of the county road aid agreement beginning July 1 of 2026.
Resolution 26-04, Fiscal Court of Bullitt County, resolution adopting and approving the execution of a county road aid co-op program contract between the Fiscal Court and the Commonwealth of Kentucky Transportation Cabinet, Department of Rural and Municipal Aid for the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2026, as provided in the Kentucky Revised Statutes, and accepting all roads and streets referred to therein as being part of the county road system. Be it resolved by Fiscal Court that the Fiscal Court does hereby accept all roads and streets referred to in said contract being a part of the county road system, and the Fiscal Court does hereby ratify and adopt all statements, representations, warranties, covenants, and agreements contained in said contract, and does hereby accept said contract, and by such acceptance agrees to all the terms and conditions therein stated. And the county judge executive of the county is hereby authorized and directed to sign said contract as set forth on behalf of the Fiscal Court of Bullitt County, and the county clerk of Bullitt County is hereby authorized and directed to certify thereto.
Thank you, Tammy. I need a motion.
I make a motion that we accept the request on resolution 26-04.
Second.
Got a motion by First District Magistrate Sanders, a second by Fourth District Magistrate Flamo, to give the judge approval to sign resolution 26-04, approval of the execution of the county road aid agreement beginning July 1 of 2026. Sam, call roll.
Judge Summers?
Yes.
Sanders?
Yes.
Logston?
Yes.
Johnson?
Yes.
Hamel?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Actions requested on the county road aid cooperative agreement for $1,058,384.92. And I'm going to put that in the form of a motion.
I'll second.
And I got a second by First District Magistrate Sanders. Sam, call the roll.
Sanders?
Yes.
Logston?
Yes.
Johnson?
Yes.
Lemel?
Yes.
Judge Summers?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Actions requested on resolution 26-05, support Alpha Ministries partnership with KIPTA.
Bullitt County Fiscal Court Resolution Number 26-05, a resolution in support of Alpha Ministries and its partnership with KIPTA for grant assistance. Whereas Alpha Ministries is committed to providing critical recovery services for men struggling with addiction, offering structured rehabilitation, personal development, and reintegration programs to improve individual lives and strengthen the community. And whereas Alpha Ministries collaborates with local agencies, including law enforcement, jails, and health departments, to deliver comprehensive recovery solutions that enhance public safety and well-being in Bullitt County. And whereas the Kentuckiana Regional Planning and Development Agency, KIPTA, offers grant writing and administrative support through its Community and Economic Development Division, assisting local organizations securing state and federal funding. And whereas a partnership between Alpha Ministries and KIPTA will help secure vital funding to expand recovery services, strengthen community resources, and support long-term solutions for addiction treatment in Bullitt County. Now therefore be it resolved by the Bullitt County Fiscal Court. 1, the Bullitt County Fiscal Court formally expresses its support for the mission and initiatives of Alpha Ministries. 2, the Fiscal Court endorses and encourages Alpha Ministries' collaboration with KIPTA to seek grant opportunities that enhance addiction recovery services in Bullitt County. 3, a copy of this resolution shall be provided to Alpha Ministries and KIPTA as an official statement of support.
Thank you, Tammy. And I guess I can speak to that. It's part of KIPTA's ongoing mission to support what I'm going to say, social services throughout the 7 counties in Kentucky and Floyd and Clark. And as chairman of KIPTA, it's an opportunity to help support Alpha Ministries who have shown that they haven't requested any funds from the local governments, but they're requesting funding through KIPTA, the Kentucky, Indiana Planning Development Authority, of which they supply the resources for our community action resources and wheels as well in this community. KIPTA does.
Well, I'll make a motion that we accept the resolution 26-05 to support Alpha Ministries' partnership with KIPTA.
I'll second.
I got a motion by 2nd District Magistrate Logston, a second by 3rd District Magistrate Johnson to support the resolution for Alpha Ministries partnership or to be eligible for a grant through KIPTA. Sam, call the roll, please.
Logston?
Yes.
Johnson?
Yes.
Lemel?
Yes.
Judge Summers?
Yes.
Sanders?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Actions requested on an interlocal agreement with Bullitt County Public Schools for the paving at Bullitt Central High School. And Thomas Stokes is here as well, if members of the court have any questions.
I spoke with him earlier, and
Right.
it's just to help, I guess, alleviate the bus traffic and make it flow a little better.
Yes,
I guess off of High School Drive, is that correct?
right.
Kind of get it where the students get closer to the school.
Yeah, like
Help
what we,
alleviate traffic.
yeah, like what we do with Pleasant Grove.
So it sounds fine to me.
Okay, are you going to put that in the form of a motion then, Brian?
Yeah, so I'll put it in the form of a motion that we enter an interlocal agreement with Bullitt County Public Schools for paving at Bullitt Central High School.
I'll second.
Got a motion by 4th District Magistrate Blamel, a second by 3rd District Magistrate Johnson to enter into interlocal agreement with the Bullitt County Public Schools for paving at Bullitt Central High School. Sam, call the roll.
Johnson?
Yes.
Lemel?
Yes.
Judge Summers?
Yes.
Sanders?
Yes.
Logston?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Janice is sick today, and the only new hires that we have is a Katie Perkins for a part-time EMT effective 5/20/26 at an hourly rate of $19.50 an hour. And I can put that in the form of a motion.
I'll second.
I have a second by 1st District Magistrate Sanders. Sam, call the roll.
Lemel?
Yes.
Judge Summers?
Yes.
Sanders?
Yes.
Logston?
Yes.
Johnson?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, good. Brian?
So I've got a couple things. First is Old Highway 245. It's right there in front of the dollar store, and where the Grand Reserve has planted some trees and shrubs along the foot off there at Old 245. A resident in the area, Dave Jurgens, brought to my attention, if you're coming in off 245 to the dollar store, when you're looking to your left, where the old dog pound and all that was, sight distance is very short, probably only 30 foot. So I was wondering if either the county or Grand Reserve could cut maybe the first 6 to 8 of those trees and shrubs need to be cut down, or they might be able to put something like a flower garden or a rock garden, something that's low profile, so you can still see, and it wouldn't affect the aesthetic quality of it, I guess, so.
Okay.
So I don't know if I need to put that in the form of a motion, or if we can just take a look at it.
Well, we got to chat with those folks first to make sure, see whose property it's really on, ours or theirs.
Some of that's state, some of it's
Yes,
county.
right.
I mean, it's probably 2 foot from the edge of the road.
Right, but that's something that can be done. Excuse me. I'm sorry.
No, if it's that close, it probably
Yeah.
falls in the right of way anyway.
I mean,
Yeah.
I would think, but. And then, one other thing is like out talking to people and stuff here recently. All of our 8 city councils meet from 6 to 7 at night, and I'm just gonna bring it up. I'd like to discuss the option of possibly one night meeting a night for fiscal court, and, we still have one at 9:30 in the morning.
One a month, is that what you meant?
One a month. We have one per quarter now. So, just, wanted to put that out there, see what everybody's thoughts are.
I'm not gonna be here, but I will say, it seems like that, we've got a good crowd today, but I will say that, just in discussion, that I don't know that we've really seen an increase in participation. I might be wrong, but an increase in participation in the one per quarter. But I might, but I know that gives people an opportunity still to come in.
I think it's just if something more like the recent rezoning request for the warehouses, they had a big turnout at planning and zoning at a special meeting, so. And most people work during the day, so 9:30, a lot of people can't make it. That's just what they brought to mind. So I'm just putting that out there for, if anybody else wants to discuss it or bring anything. I won't put it in a motion.
I would have to say that I have been out campaigning, and I haven't had a lot of people mention that to me. However, the first time I campaigned, I did have a lot of people mention it to me. If we did decide to do this, I would only like to see, put it for only so many months to see how it works. And if it's, we're not getting anybody to participate and come, I feel then maybe we should just change it back. But I'm fine to try to see. But do you understand what I'm saying about?
Yeah,
participation?
trial run, that's fine. A lot of people told me, every city council has theirs from 6 to 7, some at 6, 6:30, 7 o'clock, so. And if, it's usually, there's only gonna be a big turnout if there's an issue, just like people talking about the fatality of Watergate in 44. A lot of those residents showed up that night. That was our first meeting of the year, night meeting, March 1st.
Do you think maybe if we're gonna do that, that's when we should have our first readings of all of our
Well,
rezoning?
I don't know about that. I guess it could. I don't know.
That's just a thought.
You have a 90-day window from the time the planning commission makes their recommendation before you all have to make your final decision. So you've got time built in.
Right.
It doesn't have to be the very next meeting where you do.
Yep.
Okay.
You could organize it that way if you wanted to.
Yeah, and the quarterly meetings are within the 90-day spectrum, too.
So
Okay.
that's all I got.
All right. Karen?
So, I would like to talk about the Maryville pool. I have a little bit of paperwork here I'm gonna pass out for us. Got a little one for everybody here. And,
Nothing up for you.
yeah, it's supposed to be a PowerPoint, but I'm not that sophisticated. So we have the slides here. So this first one here talks about on Facebook, somebody asked if the Maryville pool was going to open this year, and that was in 2023. And fiscal court answered, unfortunately, no, but hoping for 2025. So people still ask me every day when we're going to get the pool open. So here's an article from the Pioneer News from 2023 that mentions the leader, we're talking about Jerry Summers, would like to spend about $2.1 million to refurbish the pool and upgrade the surrounding areas in the only park property owned by the county. There again, that was in 2023 when we just had the one park. And that also we applied for the grant for the $250,000. Although we were still planning on spending the 2.1 million to upgrade the pool and get the pool back open. Says the target is to get the facility back open to the public by 2024. This is 2026 now, and it's still not open. The next slide goes on to talk about, this was actually in 2024, that over $1 million was included in the 2025 budget for work to be done at the Maryville Pool. A total of $2 million was set aside for the park projects. And Judge Summers says, we want to do something. For Johnson, Magistrate Johnson, she wants to see the rebuilt pool open for the community. So we had a little holdup here, waiting for MSD to finish up some sewer work because the pool needed to be hooked up to the sewers. So that has been finished now, and we're good to go with the sewers. Sorry, that next one is totally out of place. Skip down about 4 till you get to the grant. So we were awarded the $245,000 grant in 2024, but we weren't allowed to start any project at all that was listed in the grant until we actually had the grant money. So I asked all the time, where's the grant money, where's the grant money, where's the grant money, and it was on hold because of FEMA or whatever. So the shutdown or whatever. And speaking to some folks that I met at KCO, Johnson County, Jessica Glick, I don't have that slide in here, I really wish I did. The mayor of Paintsville is Bill Runyon, and they also received the same $245,000 grant. They got their pool reopened last year and have received the grant money. So when MSD opened up and we still didn't have the grant money, I called Grandpa's office and got the copy of the grant. And so then I called KIPTA to find out where the check was so that we could go ahead and get started on this. We've been talking about for years. And I was told that the $245,000 grant was returned to KIPTA because it wasn't enough to cover the cost of the pool. Even though we have it in the budget every year to cover the cost to fix the Maryville pool. So, in the meantime, if you go back to where my sponsors at, did y'all get a bunch of sponsors? I got some sponsors for us. Where's that sheet? So the bid itself from the aquatics place, Todd and Tiffany came in last March and presented that to us, and I have that bid up here. I called the office yesterday to find out if they could break down some things, a couple of questions about the bid, because I have some sponsors now, and I was informed that she's not allowed to speak to me about that bid, that she's only allowed to speak to Judge Summers or Kim Foster about the bid. She could not give me any information, will not give me any information, and cannot tell me anything that I asked. She said that she was here with Todd when they presented. I told her I was a magistrate. She presented to us at the court, and I just had some questions, and she refused to answer my questions because it had to come from Judge Summers and not from a magistrate. So I would like to find out a breakdown of the electrical, the plumbing, and the pipe fitting or welding. I have a sponsor for each one. I have Mars Electric. It has agreed to do all of the electrical work. That's through Myron Mars, the owner. I have 9 Line Plumbing, which is Kyle Chilton, that has agreed to do all of the plumbing work. Joey, trying to think of his last name, it's Grissom, I think, that is going to do any of the welding or the pipe fitting that needs to be done. And then I have the copycats, and I can provide all the signs and the depth markers. All of that stuff is listed in the bid. So I would like to get that broken out. I would like to try to get the grant back from KIPTA, and I believe we can get the pool open for under 500,000, even though we've had 2.1 million budgeted to get it open all along. With MSD now getting the sewer finished, and if we can get the grant money back, we've got the sponsors, and I'd like to go ahead and get this open.
Okay, I guess where I'm at with all this, we're gonna have to get the state and the local health departments both back, because they both condemned the pool and said it had to be completely rebuilt, and that cost us somewhere between $2 and $4 million.
No.
This is just not a patchwork
They came
deal.
out there and met us last year, and then we've got the bid since then.
Karen, I think you really need to understand this, that they condemned.
You can call Jared at the state, and he has the report.
I have the report in there in my desk. The pool was condemned.
And he said that this type of pool is the ones that needs to be saved. That this is the way they used to build pools, is the way they should still build pools. But this is the way they should have been, and that it absolutely should be saved. And the mayor of Paintsville has the same exact pool. They had zero issues at all reconstructing it. They opened it on time. He said it's the best thing he ever did. He said if he wasn't 2.5 hours away, he would be here today to tell you how important it is to get that pool open. It's for the community, it's for the kids, it's something to do. If the kids aren't out there swimming, they're probably out doing something maybe they're not supposed to do.
Okay.
Karen, I know we've talked a little bit, and I'll just kind of tell you my opinion though, because I mean, I guess it's what we're, I was a big, that article you read, because I don't know if I was even quoted in there, but I was a big fan of getting that pool back open. There's no doubt I was a big supporter of it, but I know we've talked, and I think my opinion changed when you see I just drove this way to get here, you know, by Paracott Springs, and I think it's a $25+ million pool they're building right there. So I just find it hard to believe that it's justified to build a pool 5 or 6 miles away when you got a $25 million pool right here. So that's where I feel that pool is going to have an outdoor pool, indoor pool, water slides, splash park. I just don't know how used it would be or justified, you know, to spend taxpayers' money on reopening a pool 6 miles away when you got a 25, that city or town you're talking about, they probably don't have a $25 million aquatic center built 5 miles or 6 miles away. In this case, I was all about the Maryville pool, and I know I've been quoted saying that I think we should get it reopened. But even when that article was written, the city of Shepherdsville was not at a point where they were going to build that pool. It was a reality. I think that article was written about the same time that Shepherdsville announced that they're going to build this aquatic center. And I would love to see the Maryville pool open, but in reality, I can't imagine my kids wanting to pick that pool and go to a $500,000 pool over a $25 million pool when all their friends are going to be going there. I just see it underused and maybe more like an HOA, like a subdivision pool. And this is just my thought, because I know we got to make a decision whether we want to move forward or whether we want to say, hey, let's put our resources somewhere else. That grant was a matching grant, which meant it wasn't just free money. We had to put $250,000 in to match it. But if we're going to build it, we're going to put it in anyway. It's just that I don't want to be a hypocrite, because I also said, let's build the pool, let's reopen it. I hate to see it, you know, not being built. But the Shepherdsville pool wasn't a reality at that point. Now I drive by over there and I'm like, and I don't think it's a competition to say whether the county has one or the city has one. Honestly, I think the best alternative would be try to find out some type of solution that maybe we could provide transportation or maybe assistance financially or help them with a swim card or something, even if it's people in your community that can give them a discount or I don't know. There's probably ways to partner with them, but I mean, that thing is literally, I don't know exact mile, probably 6, 7 miles from where Maryville Pool is. And I just find it very hard to believe that if we did invest we've heard all the quotes, they're all over the place, but I don't think putting $500,000 is gonna do what we need it to do.
I'm asking for 500,000, if we can get it done for 500,000.
But I think it's gonna be a Band-Aid on a broken arm. We heard the presentations
Well, no,
like.
it's gonna be fixed because it has to pass inspection.
Yeah, but who in the world's gonna go to that pool when you got this pool
All
over
the
here?
kids in the neighborhood.
But does that justify, you guys, just if we
I mean,
open the
we
pool,
have-
we gotta have lifeguards, we have to have maintenance, you have to have
Yeah.
consent. That's one of the reasons we gave the pool in Mount Washington back to the city, just the operating. You can build a pool and it looks great, but somebody's gotta manage it, somebody's gotta sell concessions, there's gotta work it, you gotta have insurance.
And I volunteered to manage it, and I have the breakdown from, the Mount Washington, that it costs less than $21,000 for the season, the
Yeah.
entire season, $21,000. To enable the kids to learn how to swim, to have swim lessons, to have pool parties, to allow the seniors to come in and do water aerobics.
But they're doing all that 5 miles, 6 miles away. That's my only
The kids
thing.
in
I
the
just wanted to make
subdivision
it.
can't get there, they can't walk to Shepherdsville.
Right.
And they don't have $7 a day to go up here and go swimming. These are kids that go every day, kind of like what you see here with this quote. She said, I remember one year, she took a whole week's vacation and stayed home just so they could take the kids to the Maryville Pool every day.
Now she can take Shepherdsville though. I mean, they'll have
She's
water
in-
slides and they'll
She's
think.
still in Hillview,
Yeah.
and that's where they're located at.
I just, I just honestly, I just want, because we've talked back and forth, and I don't want to keep talking about this and misleading you, because I was a big fan of the Maryville Pool, and I've talked to you about that, but when I drive by and see this Taj Mahal Aquatic Center that's gonna host
It's not
swim
the
meets
same
and.
thing. It's not a family environment. It's not the community.
But I think that's
This
only
is a
gonna
community
serve that
environment.
neighborhood of kids that can walk there, and that's not gonna justify taxpayers in Bullitt County. That's my opinion, but I just can't support it at this time. I would support it if, Shepherdsville didn't build that facility, but it's too close in my opinion, less than 10 minutes away, 5 or 6 miles. There's no way that my kids would go to that when you could go to that. I just know that from the.
I know my kids would, because I'm not there to take them.
Yeah. But that's just my opinion.
So I would like to make a motion unless there's any further discussion.
So I'd just like to say that since we've reestablished the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board, so one of their recent meetings, Felicia from KIPTA was here, and the state has put $200 million in for grant money. And there is a county match to it, but for Bullitt County, it's only 5%. So if it did cost $1 million, and we got approved for this grant, which won't be available until July or August, then it would, $1 million would be $50,000. If it was $2 million, the county's share would be $100,000. Now, if we could do it for $100,000 on the $2 million renovation or rebuild, whatever it would be, then I would support us spending $100,000 for that area, but not $2 million out of our budget or $1
No,
million.
this
out
is
of our budget.
500,000 is all I'm asking for.
So that's what I would say, we would only have a 5% match on these KIPTA grants, but they're not available until either the fiscal year or August.
But you can get one grant a year, and this grant was issued last year, so that's different. It's a different year. So you can get last year's and you can get next year's, and it can be different projects. It doesn't even have to be the same project. But once this is done, then it would already be done.
Do we already have a grant now?
The 245,
I thought you said that was returned,
we can
It
get it
was.
back.
but that one is
Felicia
not,
said we can get it back.
that one's not the 5%, that one's like a 50/50.
Right, but we already had it in the budget.
No,
I'll make sure it's in the budget every year.
Brian, to help you, that grant's 100%. It's not 50/50. We have to put up $250,000 first, and then if we don't make a mistake through there, they will give us the $250,000. We have been through that in the last administration with a $75,000 matching grant over a command trailer that the previous sheriff had already used it once before. We were approved for it, and then when they dug into the records, then we get nothing back. This could be the same thing with the $250,000. It is a 100% matching grant. It is not a percent grant. It's 100% matching.
But if everything was done correctly, we would put in 250 and we would get 245 back.
And they have a line of things that they literally, I'm not gonna say they look for opportunities to, but when you go dealing with those types of grants, there's more of them that come back that they don't get than what they end up getting. It's really sort of like rolling the dice. One thing you can't use, everybody has to be, when you deal with the federal government, it all has to be, what I'm gonna say, prevailing wage people too as well. So,
Well, these are,
okay.
Mars Electric is union.
So I guess where I sit with it, it's anywhere from $2 to $4 million. It sits
I'm
in,
asking for 500,000. If
it's-
we can get it for 500,000,
It-
get it complete
the,
and inspected.
it sits in the middle of, let me finish, Karen. It sits in the middle of two prosperous cities. Two prosperous cities. So the county's gonna come in and spend county taxpayer dollars for two cities that has wealth beyond rapport over this county. When if the pool is really that necessary, I don't understand why the cities won't step up and do this. We've had them in here more than once. They want no part of the pool,
Well,
any way, shape, or
the
form.
administration, I'm gonna ask them.
Ask is, okay. So where I sit with all this, you might have documentation. I was there with the guy from the state. The
I
pool,
was too. I was the one that called him out there.
that's exactly right. And it was condemned by him. It's condemned by our local health department. It has to
He
be,
said it should be safe.
yeah, you have to do ADA work and all that, anywhere from $2 to $4 million.
It's all in the quote right here.
No, ma'am, that quote
When
was for,
Todd came out here, he
That-
quoted it from what Jared said. He had the report from Jared.
okay.
Honestly, I think we'd be better off to create some kind of partnership and shuttle service.
I do
or
too.
Something for like people in that community, if that's the concern about
A
them
shuttle-
getting
I
there.
mean, do the parents go with them? Do the parents give a,
Do they walk with them when they walk to the pool? Do they, do they're
if
walking on
they're
their
under
own?
12, they have to have
Yeah.
somebody 18 or older with them.
Yeah.
So
I
you
just-
have a lot of
yeah.
babysitters and,
I just think it's gonna serve that neighborhood, and honestly, that's great for those people in that neighborhood, but we gotta look at the big picture when we're spending taxpayer money. I
well, we
think
used to
so.
have one in LJ, we had one in Mount Washington, we had one in Shepherdsville, and everything was wonderful back then. And then everything was shut down.
Yeah, because
And
just
now-
the lack of use, the cost, but now we got a 25 point, this is Bullitt County, even though it might not, I represent Mount Washington District 2, but I vote on everything that affects the whole county. So even though this pool is right behind us in Shepherdsville, I still feel a part of that because it's Bullitt County. And I think to have this $25.5 million pool, water slides, splash parks, indoor, outdoor, I think it's an amazing thing to have. So instead of trying to compete against it, I think there ought to be some way we can embrace that and partner with them instead of trying to build another pool, is my opinion.
Well, this was a poll I took on Facebook, and it says, do you think the Maryville pool should be reopened, that the county has it within the budget, so spending the taxpayer money? And it was a 97% yes. That the county taxpayer
Vote
money.
on that. What was your total?
I don't know, I just know it was 97%.
Yeah, but that was also done in 24. They didn't drive by and see that building. If they drove by and seen that building now, I bet it
Well,
would be.
you also have what the one in Louisville that kids go swim at, and I've been there before too, but it's not the same as having it in your neighborhood where you can have pool parties, you can do your swim lessons. It just becomes a part of the community. The part of the grant too was also involved getting the basketball courts redone, and still nothing's been done with that. We have a whole park over there, it doesn't even have a swing, it doesn't have a slide, it has nothing for the kids to do. We have a handful of people that play disc golf over there, and that's it.
Well, I know we did form a advisory board, and I know you and Brian had attended that. What have they said? I mean, that's the whole idea of the advisory board.
Right.
What have they said?
Well, they only advise, they don't tell us
Well,
what to
they
do.
advise us.
But in the survey, when they gave it back, there's several people that want the Maryville pool reopened.
They haven't made a determination yet on what grants they're gonna present to you all, what they want. So I think we have the next meeting. They took a couple months off just because of Derby and
Good
spring break and
Friday,
things like
Good
that.
Friday.
So I think the next thing is gonna be in June.
Yep.
And with the goal of that being that they were all gonna come back to the table with projects they were gonna recommend to apply for the grants.
But even if somebody gave you the pool and built it and said there's still a lot of ongoing costs with it, even if it snapped your finger and it was there, I know you're willing to donate your time, but I mean,
The 5%.
what if you're not here, then somebody else has gotta step in and it's gonna be, it's just, I was a big fan of it, and I don't want you to think I'm flip-flopping, because I'm not. I mean, literally, I drove this way, to fiscal court, I'm looking at all the new changes day by day, and I'm just like 5, 6, 7 miles, whatever it is, less than 10 minutes. Is it really justified after they're building such a nice place here? I was excited about, because we didn't even have a pool in Bullitt County when we were talking about this. I don't think Tom did, we? I don't know when the Shepherdsville pool closed, but I mean, there was not a pool in Bullitt
No,
County
it was
when
on
we were talking.
2020 that they haven't opened since 2020.
Yeah, and, I don't know which one closed first, Shepherdsville or Maryville.
They didn't open in 2020.
Which one closed first?
They didn't open in 2020. During COVID, they
Which
didn't
pool
reopen.
closed first, though?
They didn't open in 2020. Like, they were open in
I
2019.
think which one closed before the other?
They were open in 2019.
Both pools were?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then in 2020, COVID hit.
So when
and
COVID
nothing
hit,
opened.
both pools
And
were open
nothing's
until
opened
COVID?
since then.
It's okay. No,
My
wait.
suggestion is that we need to wait and let the advisory board come to our meeting and give us what they decided, because that's the whole reason we have formed this committee. That's
We're
my
not here to
opinion.
make the decision.
I mean,
We're
I
here to
thought we
make
were
the
all on
decision.
board with this
I
advisory.
thought we were all on board for the Maryville pool for all these years.
Hey, Sean, I think, Bullitt said it closed approximately 10 years ago.
That's what I thought, way
Yeah,
before.
me too. It's, and to help you a little bit, Faith, the only pool that's been open since we've been in office has been Mount Washington.
Yeah.
And that's been it.
Because they fought to get it open and they did the right thing, and now the community goes up there and goes swimming every day and they all have a good time. That's all Maryville wants. We just want the pool back the way it was.
But I couldn't vote on it this time. I would have said yes before Shepherdsville made this unbelievable pool, but I just couldn't see that this is gonna be utilized other than the residents in that neighborhood. That would be my vote.
Yeah.
I love I promise you, probably more than anybody in this room, I love preserving history and what I do for a living and saving buildings. But I just don't think that one will be utilized to justify the cost, in my opinion.
Yep. Okay.
Well, my opinion is I would like to see what our advisory board.
Okay.
And that's all I have.
Okay. Sean?
I'm good, thanks.
Vera?
I think I'm good.
Okay. I'd like to, ma'am, the newest prosecuting attorney, would you mind standing up and introducing yourself to the room so they know who you are?
Hi, my name is Mariah Marsh. I am the newest county attorney here.
Yep.
Maybe you guys know where I'm from.
And she wanted to come today. Believe it or not, she wanted to come here
There you
and
go.
watch this today because she likes civil law.
I think civil
Turning
law
her
is a
out.
lot of fun, so.
Okay.
It's probably unpopular.
But you're the newest attorney in the county, you're not the county.
Attorney.
I thought first, I was like, ah, she just took Tammy's job. She's
She's working for me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good deal.
We're
Well,
very happy to have her. She
Yeah.
hit the ground running.
there you go. Welcome aboard.
Are you local? Do you live local?
I live in Louisville.
We won't hold it against you.
She's looking to move here though.
Yes.
There you go.
Hopefully within the next 6 months, so.
Good deal. Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. I guess the only comments I have is I'd like to thank Mayor Dangerfield for coming today, and his #1 vote getter, Teresa Preston, of the City Council, #1 vote getter from City of Shepherdsville, Faith Portman. Mr. Selby, I don't know where you ranked in that thing, but thank you for coming from Fox Chase, City Council member. We have our county clerks here as well, Kevin Mooney, our jailer, I guess he left. He was here. And Tara from the library. Thank you all for being here today. And
Back row over there. Mayor.
I just want to remind everybody to go out and vote.
Christie over here.
The election's coming up on the 19th. So at this time, Vera, what time is it?
It's 10:30, and I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Got a motion by First District Magistrate Sanders, a second by Second District Magistrate Logsdon to adjourn the Bullitt County Fiscal Court at 10:30 a.m. Sam, call the roll.
Judge Summers?
Yes.
Sanders?
Yes.
Logston? Yes. Johnson?
Yes.
Leamall?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Crystal. Crystal.
That's what we've received so far, or is that the total? Because of what? That's like 275,000. How much is it? Or just the whole? Yeah, he had a couple of folks that spoke. But, yeah, I mean, and then what was the April? April was 314,000. We're still waiting. So it is 800,000 plus. And that's fine. I was just curious, how much have we received right now? Like $200 or $300 total for both of them? Well, that wasn't trying to split that spot. Yeah, and we're trying. I haven't been back though. So the fire department, they get it for like water rescues. Well, and they spend some money. I mean, order has been at the main things on that. So if, had to close the road, put up road signs, road closed, come to field. He's big time. I mean, he does a lot of zoning opposition cases. So he does everything. They just have a big apartment. But that doesn't, I don't know, it probably makes us get less, but it's still, the county gets, I mean, the city gets it, the county gets it, so. Put a question mark, it's supposed to be a period. Well, So what about,
And there are other,
is there anything that would
there are other
qualify,
sites,
so like how the shoulder,
got
because I was told,
chickens and
someone
stuff
told me about a month
in
ago,
Hillview.
after we started talking about
So they got,
44
so that's a whole nother
fatalities there.
$100
In that area. They come out and put
sell
the
with
the millings, and
we
then
got that on.
news came out 2 or 3 different times.
So he's,
I don't guess that would qualify as like a FEMA event.
him and his
I
co-worker
was told there was a group out there and they were like a branch of.
way before you were.
But they were the safety department, you know, and we were talking about
King
lowering the
James.
speed limit. Well, they said, they told somebody that was out there that had their business, and they said, we got in, said, well, we're checking because they want us to lower the speed limit, you know, from here to back to the city limits. I said, that's not how it works. He said, said it's a, it's more of a safety issue. And now, according to what they told this guy, that they're gonna start going ahead and moving the utilities back and at least make it 3 lanes, but it needs to be 4 lanes from Shepherdsville, you know, where Bullitt Central is, right there, all the way up to Bell's Mills. I mean, it would be probably 5 years, 10 years, whatever it takes, but, so anyway, I just think drawing some attention to that in the news coming out, and us having, you know, the state look at it, that's kind of helpful, but is there anything like a safety issue there that would fall under? I know, because you can do like tornadoes and floods and catastrophic stuff.
So FEMA released $1 billion to the country, basically between the states. And it's called the BRIC grant, Building Resilient Infrastructure Communities. So the state could apply to that if they wanted to.
BRIC grant?
Yes, sir, BRIC. The state could apply to that if they wanted to, and apply to get, however much money it costs. I think it's 25% cost share, I might be wrong. But it's a federal grant that gets given to the states. And when the state uses that money, they put it out to the counties.
So say it was like a $10 million project, and they did 7 or 8 million of it, then we might have to put up a couple million to come back.
Maybe, but for 44, I would see that just being a
State, it's a state, unless it was like, say, the entrance of Watergate, you know what I'm saying, like, maybe to kind of reconstruct, because, you know what I'm talking about, how it's like steep when you turn in there and stuff.
Unless we did a bypass, like a county bypass.
Well, they're supposed to talk about that next Tuesday, you know what I'm saying, and not a county owned, but like you've seen that, we're gonna have the meeting at City Hall, May 12th. So they're looking at doing another bridge, which we need, across Salt River, you know, maybe somewhere from, like, the second industrial entrance in Valley View Golf Course right in there. Like, if they went straight across the river, they would come out about where KOA and Halls Lane is. And see, that would put people on the other side of Shepherdsville, and then if you went just to the right of Halls Lane or another half mile, then you would come out at 61 and 65, so they could put an interchange there, and that would help a lot. That's what I think would be the best, but they're looking at like 4 different routes, like one going all the way down like to Pitts Point and coming up, well, that's probably 10 times the cost, and it's gonna put everybody coming back through Shepherdsville, so I don't see that helping.
People driving on this point, you know, that's not made for all the commercial vehicles.
Yeah, I didn't say it was actually Pitts Point, but like that area, like you come over there, have you looked at all those, the different routes that are possible that they're gonna talk about at Shepherdsville
Yeah, I'm
City
coming
Hall?
to that meeting.
Yeah, I'm going to too. But that might be something to look at. I'm not saying it affects you or anything, but, so the BRIC grant, it's for the state, and you think it's like 25% or something, but that would probably be all state
I know
anyway.
that they put out 3 applications on it.
Do you know if they had a deadline or anything? I guess if I Google it, I can just find out information.
I'm not sure, sir.
But it has to do with you said what now, something and infrastructure?
Yeah, building resilient communities.
Okay.
Give you all here about 65. If they close down.
Today?
No, June 1st.
Someone was telling me that, while I was,
Here or up at, Wood? Well, I know that they're gonna close like some of it, you know.
Watershed, 5 miles. Watershed all the way to Jefferson Street. North and south.
is that?
I don't know where they're gonna end up. If I'm Gene Snyder, I guess.
There's 2 places.
Originally, we tried to do the detours.
Okay.
And KYTC's trying to figure it out.
I talked to them.
Some people were established on detours. Now, they've brought some, they're in use park, truck mark and all that stuff. And they put out detours for commercial vehicles, especially for the people that just driving through this area of the country. They're a detour from the Watershed West to 6040 or to cross the bridge.
My opinion, the whole opinion I have on it, too,
But it's gonna be.
the whole
But they'll still be able to use
for the,
water starts around August 3rd, 4th, something to the 20th.
Yeah, it's gonna be a huge
I
mess
would
because you still
probably
can't
after
fit
today,
any of between the concrete barriers, so it's only gonna be about 11 feet wide. And so if you get it.
So our box ambulance or what?
I mean, they'll technically.
They'll fit, but,
It's gonna be super sketchy.
but if there was anything else, a semi,
look at me, I'm out here,
So
I
they're still
should
working
never
on
done.
Swansea, Preston, or Barnes Town.
I've already hit 1100
So
houses
it's gonna be
in my
straight, I
district.
just wanna give you
I
all
still
that,
got one,
in case y'all even work for anything.
three something.
And then the end of the
I
month,
try not to even go to Louisville, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's not in town or
Everybody
whatever, they'll turn
involved,
separate.
but I'm still
cause
working.
you're in the LJ, ain't you?
Yes, sir.
So like Tim Waters and all them, are they like your cousins
So,
or something?
Tim's my uncle, my dad's kid Waters.
Okay. I thought y'all, so do you know Terry other than lives across the street?
Yeah.
Okay, like Barb and Terry and
Yeah.
then, I can't think of,
But,
what's his name?
those trees, I.
And his mom's
did-
name is Barb
did they
also,
reach
but
out to
anyway.
Peyton?
Cause he said
someone put his,
there's two bunches of Waters in Lebanon Junction, and said he's related to one bunch, but he's not related to the other.
Yeah, they're,
Do you know how that works? You probably do.
his biggest part, like,
Okay.
So Robert's
cousin
getting
named
it.
Jimmy, he's a Waters through marriage, but he still claims the Waters side, you know? But it's, I don't know, I think we're all related
Well,
somehow.
I put in.
But
those
go back
names.
really good, cause there's a lady that goes to
Did you
church
see
with
what
me,
I put?
Sherry Waters Hurt. And she's actually like a fourth, you know, don't count it, but like fourth cousin to Terry,
Yeah,
somehow on his
it's like
mom's side.
Miss
You know, I
Gloria
just
Coleman,
hang out, yeah.
she was down there for a long time, she was a teacher.
Coleman, yeah, the guy that was on the board of education.
Yeah, so her maiden name was Waters, and so she made that a middle name. And so that was on that side of the family, the same with Jimmy and, there's someone else, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, if you go back far enough, like Troutman's in Mount Washington, and the ones in Shepherdsville, there was like four brothers in like 1790.
Yeah.
So I mean, technically they are, but they're like the 20th cousins by now. But the Troutmans, I'm related to the ones with the Troutman's dragons. My grandpa and Kyle's grandpa were brothers. So,
It's the same for me, my great grandfather had 4 sons, and each one of those 4 sons had a bunch of sons, and
Yeah.
they had a bunch of kids, and it's just all divvied up.
yeah, so now you got like 500 people out of like 2 people.
Still, luckily, we don't have family reunions since everybody kind of lives in the same area. We try to see each other when we pass by. But I can imagine family reunion, probably.
Well, like Katrina, you know Katrina across the street, so she got a cousin too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she.
Because for a while, my youngest son
I
and
know
Emma
where she lives.
were boyfriend and
She said
girlfriend,
you
but she broke up with him, so he took it pretty hard. But anyway, so I won't say too much, but anyway, so we know Katrina, and then she drives a truck for Flynn. She used to drive a
Whatever
bus.
son was
My
yours.
wife drives a bus.
And you know,
Her
she's
sister,
on
Chelsea.
her way in and out.
Chelsea, is that
And
Katrina?
she
Yeah,
said.
Okay.
Katrina-
See, I just know Katrina because she went to church with us, and then Emma and Trace.
I did stop.
And family,
Yeah.
everywhere I go, they're,
I love it.
like, probably, I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm,
yeah.
I'm terrible with names these days, and so if I see their face,
You
I'm
know,
like, what
she
up, cuz?
was.
Yeah, that's all you could do. Yeah, because I know a lot, like, when I was a kid, my dad had like 35 first
Well, I want to
cousins.
show you what I found.
And we lived in Cedar Grove, and they all lived on 44, like around Pleasant Grove. And we go over there maybe once every couple of years for Christmas. Hey, bro.
I must have liked something.
Hey,
Yeah.
I don't know your name. Well, there was someone like Ralph. Ralph was real vocal. You always knew Ralph.
I just let them know that.
Like, because of Jimmy, I know his name, because I've been around him since I was little, you know.
So you do
Since I was little, he was,
Right here,
had
yes.
2
This is
wives,
all.
his wife passed, and then he got remarried. Two wives and a half. Actually, Taylor, I was just all running, I was watching big cousin, that's late, but
Yeah,
I checked.
I one of them was married to Susan for like 25
Not
or
with
30
the
years, but
county.
then they got divorced, and now he's married to a lady, and I'm
This
starting to remember her
over
name is
here
Debbie,
is just
but I'm always
legible.
thinking Charles and Susan, but it's
State
Charles and Debbie now.
yeah, I always call her Stephanie, I'm like, shit. Oh, by the way, her
Does that
name is-
sound right?
Is her last name Waters? So famous for it. He just needs to say cuz on that one too.
Wayne Shaka got on there.
All right, I'll let you go, but I'll look into that and see what I can find out about her.
Let me know if you need any information, or if you start looking for something.
Hey, I'm
But
just trying to
see,
get
this,
some,
everything this guy is.
get some
took
attention and
pages.
get something
just-
done on
the only thing
44,
I
even
did,
if it's
I
like, hey,
encouraged them
because when I ever talk to the state reps and senators, they're like, well, there's no money, you can't put it in the budget, or anything like that. So I'm just trying to get enough attention that they will put it in.
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, in a perfect world, 44 from.
Oh, Peyton's stuff?
Shepherdsville,
He
Mountain.
all the way through to down in
That's on the website.
Release 2 lanes downtown,
Put stuff
Shepherdsville,
like
and then
that.
going forward.
I figured like that would do it.
Yeah, let them do their own
And
digging.
same south first, and pretty
All
much
right.
from where.
Oh, yeah, from the old, at least, I guess, well, the new exit, basically, you know what I'm saying?
Is that the one
Take
with the
the
school
turning
system?
lanes and all that in, but
Maybe one day, yeah. Maybe when you're buying or something. All right, it's good to talk to you. Thank you. If we could do, if it was 2 million and we could spend 100,000, I'll do it, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
But, you know, just because we can do it, we have to look at the overhead.
You've been paying attention to the numbers, I think we're, I don't know, we went down 3 million last time, I think we're putting in $5 to $8 million. What? Go ahead. Go ahead. I'll let you speak since you're mowing.
Better. That would be very.
Should I
wise of
recognize
you.
you?
That'd be very wise of you. Are you gonna be a little bit, probably?
No, I'm.
No, we're just talking for a minute.
No, I'm just saying in general, I don't care, just let me know.
No.
Be a little bit.
I got a haircut at 11:25, so I mean, I'm gonna, do you wanna go
What
get?
time is it?
5 till 10:55.
Oh, well, I'm going to eat with you then.
Go eat. Y'all go eat.
Well, he needs to go get a
But
service.
no, what was you?
My thing is the overhead of it all. Karen can't run it and still hold a position here.
No,
Now,
it's
is
conflict,
she-
it's like
Is
me,
she willing to step down from her position?
maybe it's.
Y'all have a good day.
Okay.
I'll see you later, girl.
Okay. I mean, no, I don't think so, but, I've been here, I don't know that that might not be,
So is she looking for a job?
not her, but it's election time coming up.
You know, I just. And I'm not gonna pay, I just don't see kids out. You know, kids don't get outside.
So, if we could do it for 100,000, that's 2 million, and that's paying 100. Yeah, I'll do it, but,
I don't think I have them.
well, you gotta get approved first.
You can
She
apply
just
for all
wanted to
kinds of, you can apply for all kinds of
Great.
grants, but that doesn't mean you can get one. And I don't think she understands that.
But that lady said they did